Do you want your garden to stay colourful for longer? I think the secret is not actually buying more plants, but layering your plants in the same area. So here you can see I started with a peony, beautiful, came out lovely. And I keep these leaves here because the leaves are lovely and colourful. Underneath that, in the same area, was a tall, elegant foxglove. And you can see here, these are, then you've got lavender that has come out, that's just finished. And then these beautiful orange plants are dotted all over the garden. But that's all in one area. So over the months, I've got something different that's flowering. This is my newest plant that I only put on this summer. Look at that stunning, stunning yellow plant. And that is going to grow upwards, that plant. It's going to grow upwards because I want it to hide the fence. I want it to hide some of the next door's garden so that when I have clients walking through, we can have a bit of privacy. This is a plant I moved from a pot. So it has a delicate little flower. It's not really like the mauve, but I'm keeping it there to see what happens. This is a lovely mauve climber. It's a bit of a one that spreads out and climbs up that fence. And again, that's in the layering. So you can see this is the first plant that one of the first ones that comes out, and that covers that fence. So I have to be quite brutal with that one and pull that out. But that sort of weaves in and out. And these are one of the creepers that just creep over that little wall that I've got there. And they're just, that last part of them is finishing now. So you can see as those months, you know, from March onwards, I've got things there. And I've got lavender dotted all over the garden. That's more of that yellow plant that's going to come out. I've got tomatoes weaved in there, and they give that red, so they give that extra colour. And I've put these ones in pots. Above that border is the honeysuckle, and then alongside it is this lovely trailing plant that I'm growing hopefully further on that fence. And then above that, we've got this gorgeous magnolia that comes out, and when they fall off, I just get that just few of those second showing right now. If you've got pots in your garden, you can do exactly the same thing. So you can see here I've had a lovely pink flowers running through that, but once that's finished, that's the tiniest little flower that's left there now. But running through that is my sedum. So although the sedums don't flower, they give this beautiful green colour. And then I've done it with another pot, a bigger pot. So you've got those mauve flowers in that pot, but also look tucked in there. So when they've finished, I shall tear those out, and then I'm left with the sedum. So you can do it in the garden, but also in pots if you've only got pots. So what I've noticed here, I've pulled this lavender back that's finished, and I've noticed a gap. So one of my lovely flowering things that I had in a pot this year, they don't always survive the frost, but I'm going to give it a try. So this is another layering I've got there. So that, if that does survive the frost, I'm going to cover it with some fleece. That will come up and flower. That flowered for about 6 weeks, and that will just sit under that lavender that I've now tied back. So you can see that's another form of layering where I've noticed that little gap. So I've popped that in there. And we don't always have to layer with plants. I've put a few logs in there where I've seen gaps. I've put a little garden ornament, and I love my stones that I colour in anyway. So there are other things that we can pop in these gaps if we find them in our garden. So I hope that's given you some inspiration. I hope that's given you a bit of an idea how you can have that colour all through the months by just layering and building up your garden.